All right, don't even think about buying a home here in San Luis Obispo County if you can't handle these 5 things that I'm going to break down for you here, and we're getting to it right now. All right, well, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Verenice, and I'm a local real estate broker here on the Central Coast. I grew up here, raised my kids here. I'm still here, and I absolutely love it. We're getting calls from people just like you from all over, trying to get information about the Central Coast. So this channel is about real estate, lifestyle, and everything in between, trying to help you out. So feel free to reach out. Day, evening, weekends, it doesn't matter. But in this video, we're going to break down things that are going on right now. Coming into spring, summer, we're in spring, summer of 2023. So I thought I'd bring you something pretty current to help you out as you're hearing all this information from all avenues, news, media, your friends, people that are buying. So I'm going to give you some 5 things that if you can't really handle these things right now, maybe you should take a step back, or educate yourself on what's going on to alleviate how stressful this can be for you. Some of this information is generic California information that may help you to compare to the rest of the U.S., but we are honing in specifically on the trends in SLO County and some current sales to really enlighten you on what's happening. So starting off with the top feedback that we get from people moving into the area. This is a trend that you would have guessed here in SLO County currently and California.
All right, so number one thing that comes up and that you need to be able to handle is our high housing prices here in SLO County.
Prices too high.
Just showing you the data here that we come in medium home price by state. California coming in at number 1. Comparing it to the rest of the United States. And I'm going to bring up a report market update here that was done in April by our chief economist for the California Association of Realtors, and you'll find this very interesting. So again, breaking the median price point for us up to year to date, and it's plummeting a little bit here on the price growth, but folks, California can only go one way. And as you can see on this graph, we're always going up. So here it is. What is it that keeps that going up? Well, we don't have a lot going on as far as building permits, and we need more houses. SLO County offers quality of life, and that's what people want.
Quality of life like no other.
So as you can see, yes, the housing prices has always been a big deal here in San Luis Obispo County. The trend has been the same, that we're above the U.S. average, and that's been, as you can see from the graphs, the way it's been. But the number one thing that you can't take away from California is the quality of life. If you can take what California is offering today, so depending on your lifestyle, a little bit of obviously your political views, things of that nature are going to weigh heavy on your decision. But yeah, so that is the number one thing we get is those housing prices. But then again, you're getting the quality of life. And I'm hoping you're finding that information of value. And if you did, please leave us a like. That helps other people just like you find the information. Leave us a comment because we love hearing from you. And please subscribe so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Definitely going to be breaking down some more in-depth, certain things for our area for you. All right, the second thing you need to be aware of, that if you can't handle this, then you probably should take a step back or rethink things for you and your family. And that is competing for a house. Right now, that is truly happening. And I'm going to bring up some examples for you, 3 different price points. And let me bring the first one up, which was in Arroyo Grande. I want to give you the details of this property in Arroyo Grande in the 700 price point. That's where it ended up. But this was located at 849 Creekside Drive in Arroyo Grande, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,552 square feet in a very decent neighborhood, very desirable So it was a little bit of a fixer. So let's bring up these pictures, and then I'm going to give you some of the stats. So it was clean, needed some updating, a good school district, a great location, and the asking price was actually $675. Okay, and we do this thing called coming soon. That was put on March 21st. And then it actually came available on March 24th. So what that means for our industry here is that you put it coming soon, it lets people know that this is coming. So if you are an active buyer, you would get a notification, from your realtor or whatever you're set up on, Redfin, Zillow. Preferably, contact a realtor in the area to get you set up. And plus, we're always networking, so that's always a good thing. So March 21st, everybody knows about it. It's coming, but you can't see it, but you just know about it, and you only see maybe 1 or 2 pictures. Kind of to get the momentum going on it, the buzz on it, and obviously a $675 price point for anything in our area is just, something that's well sought out. So March 24th, it goes active. That's when people can actually go see it. We usually, as I've said in the past, try to navigate your tours to look at things in our area towards the weekends. That was a weekend. That was, I think, a Friday. Then it went pending March 27th. So it went pending March 27th. In the interim, over the weekend, 11 offers. So it was listed at $675, closed at $727.5. So that is what's happening in that price point, and this is just a recent transaction, and I wanted to bring that to your attention. So recap, pending active March 24th, pending March 27th, closing April 4th for the $727.5. Okay, so that's an example. That's an example there for you on that price point. So let's go to another price point, and this one is in Grover Beach. And let me bring that property up for you. Here is our next property in Grover Beach, North Grover Beach. So this is South County. This is literally blocks from the ocean as well. It had ocean views. The pictures on this one really favored the property. I did view it. I did actually submit an offer myself for buyers, and very well qualified buyers. Needed definitely some love. The bones were good. Did definitely needed termite work, which is very common for our area. So let me give you the logistics on this, but I wanted just to kind of show you again what the trend is, what the activity is. So there was distant ocean views that would not be obstructed. And basically on this one, very unique street in it was a cul-de-sac, not much comes up on here. The lot was nice and big, great yard to work with. So good property here. So let's go take a look at the logistics. So $899, 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2316 square feet. And I believe this was like a 9,000 square foot lot built in 1990. Okay, so it goes on the market Thursday, Friday. I think it went on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday showings. The first day it listed, they already had 3 offers on the table by the end of the day. Then Saturday, Sunday, they had about 11, 12 offers and maybe another one coming in. And so this is kind of the trend too, is when something like this is happening and you are a good buyer, solid buyer, you have to have your agent call in and see what does the seller need, right? What is going on with this property? You can't be offering $900,000 on a property like this with multiple offers like that. It's just there's competition. So basically, you want to ask the questions: what do you need to see to make this happen? Well, the agent, you can fish a little bit, they can tell you some things, they don't have to, but this is to the seller's benefit to get as many active buyers on this property. So even though you're first to the table, doesn't mean you're going to be the last. Right now, it's to the benefit to the seller to leave the property over the weekend, unless you're a smoke and deal and the terms are great, and I'll show you an example of that next. But here, $899, make a phone call Saturday, Sunday morning, and basically fished out enough to know that we needed to be closer to $1 million, and our terms needed to be like pretty much nothing, you know. So I already knew from those words, just a little bit of fishing, is that, you know, this was going to go way over asking, and, you know, you were going to basically have to take it as is, which they said already at the beginning. And the only other detail was the seller wanted 30 days, not anything shorter, because they had to move all their items. So again, that many offers, and it's still pending, but you know, because everybody's asking for up-to-date information on the channel, so I'm trying to do that for you and really have a realistic expectation of what you're getting into coming this summer, and then we'll see where we're at the end of the year. But we just don't see the slowdown right now. Yes, traditionally is the time that's pretty heavy, but just know that, I mean, this is what's going on right now. So let's go to the third property. All right, so this one is my favorite because it came on and I actually did a video about it, Pismo Beach, and I had ended up with this one, and it's in that higher price caliber. And I had a comment from one of you, and I'll put it up right here so you can see what was said. And I loved it because it said, yeah, let us know what where it ends up landing, because they thought the asking price was already ridiculously, you know, like, are you serious about that offer? Seriously about that asking price? So yeah, let me bring it up and I'll show you the end results of this particular home. So this is 147 Beachcomber. Okay, it was listed it had coming soon, like I mentioned before, on March 29th, went active March 31st. Asking price $2.620. Beautiful home, one of the most stellar streets in Shell Beach. You know, this is north of Pismo Beach. So lots going on here, real nice caliber of a build, beautiful inside. Ocean views from the master. Like I said, I did a video. I'll link that in the description so you can take a look at that area. Of course, this location information. This was the view from the master bedroom. But, you know, this was just a rare find in mint condition yard. So that was really great. So coming soon, March 29th, active 331. Everybody's coming to see it. Pending April 3rd. Closing April 13th, all cash, 2620 perhaps, but this is another one, and they had 3 offers on this one. The highest one won, ending at 2950. So yes, this is what's happening. So, you know, just making sure that if you can't handle some competition in some of these, then just don't move forward on it. All right, so again, I'm just trying to give you the information of what's going on right now, so you're just better informed and can be more realistic of your shopping experience and what it's gonna take. So right now there is some competition, and I showed you 3 different price points in South County. I'll be bringing you some more areas to also show you those breakdowns, but that is what's going on. So, you know, just know that there could be some competing, and you'll have to decide how much you want to deal with that, or how much you want to deal with that or not. All right, the third thing that I just kind of want to go over about buying here in San Luis Obispo and thinking about what you can handle or not is, don't buy right now with emotion. Right now, it is really getting down to what makes the sale easiest for the seller. Is there contingencies? Contingencies are your loan contingencies, your inspection contingencies, things like that. So, you know, right now, try not to get too involved in the home that you see and get too wrapped around it, especially when there's a lot of offers. It's not that you're not a good buyer, but when there's so much competition right now and there's cash coming into the market, this is a critical time to just realize that other people competing with you, realize that it's probably going to get higher and higher. So, you know, just try not to buy with emotion so that you don't stress yourself out and have a bad experience. I'm just trying to prepare you for that as you're exploring San Luis Obispo County. The reason that's happening is like I said before, supply and demand. We are a well sought out area and there's just not a lot of homes here. All right, the fourth thing that I want you to prepare and be able to handle, or if not, just don't buy here in San Luis Obispo County, is you need to realize that the sellers don't have to respond to your offer. So it's up to them and how they're going to handle the negotiations and the offers they come in. So I'm not saying that that's fair. I'm just telling you that that is happening. So, most agents will put in the multiple listing private remarks for us agents and brokers. Okay, so the seller will review offers next week, or they will review them as they come in. The other thing is you can't really tell your story anymore about your family or this or that or the other, because now there's laws of that, it's just discrimination and things of that nature. That isn't to say that you can't leave some nuggets with the agent. If the seller chooses to hear something, then, that's up to them. But at the end of the day, you just have to prepare that the seller doesn't have to respond to you. So, everybody handles things differently, and there's a perception that the seller owes you something back. Now, it is courteous, and there is sort of an industry standard that we hope most agents do, but it all depends on the seller's needs. So that's where the agent that's representing you should be making those phone calls to the listing agent, asking, what does the seller need? And I'm going to tell you, it's usually what closes the deal for them the easiest. Who's going to give them the better terms? So if it's somebody that is medically ill, has moved out of the house, and they need all the money, it's going to be the net, If it's an older couple that perhaps lived in this home and raised their family there, they might say, well, is it a family that's buying or whatever? And again, you have to be really careful about these things. However, this is where the person that's representing you has to have those relationships within the area. So working with somebody local, no matter where you're searching, is super important with those relationships, and that can make or break the deal for you. So again, I'm here for your real estate needs, would love to be that person for you, but regardless, take that to heart. Really get to know who your agent is and what, if they're networking out there, if they're really boots on the ground, what relationships do they have? How involved are they with their current market and association, and all those things make a very big difference. So again, I'm just trying to remind you, or just make you aware, that the sellers don't have to respond to you. Don't take that personally. All have their story, just like you have your story and their needs and their wants. So at the end of the day, it's up to them and their listing agent, but especially the seller, on how they're going to deal with that. So just prepare for that they can just work with another buyer and be fine with that. Or at the beginning, I've had agents just say, put your best foot forward, give us your highest and best. And so if you're not willing to do that and really put yourself out there, leaving emotion out, hey, but you want to walk away feeling good that you've done everything you can if this is the house for you. So those are the things that you just have to analyze. And then this is where I do my due diligence in representing, my buyers, and we say, like, what do you think that the response is going to be? And then if they've got 11 showings today, 9 showings tomorrow, 5 on Saturday, then that you're going to have a lot of work ahead of you, and really get the information from that listing agent as to what that seller wants and what they need. But at the end of the day, I'm just letting you know that they don't even have to respond to you if they don't want to. All right, so this last item isn't my favorite, and I don't like to say if you can't handle this, don't buy a house here, but I do want to make buyer fatigue. So if you can't handle that, this might not be the time. And I'm saying this to you because of everything I just went over. The lack of inventory and demand. I know we're hearing that all across America, I get it. But right here specifically, like, we don't have, we have a growth ordinance even in our county. So it's tough for the developers that even want to do things. We sold 6 lots in Shell Beach, and that developer has how to deal with the city of Pismo Beach. And there's just things and hoops and things that have to happen in California. Now, if you were to build in Texas or Arizona, you would be moving along and breaking ground so much faster. So I'm just telling you that that is one of the reasons why you might have to go through a few homes. So I always say, like, look specifically in certain areas, and then be prepared to roll up your sleeves and be ready when you find that right home for you. And this is where it's critical that you are super pre-approved. Like, everything is with the lender. Local lenders are preferred because they're going to call that listing agent and go up to bat for you, as well as I am going to go up to bat for you. And I just put the facts, they have submitted everything. Their credit score is this, they're solid. Then we've got the lender. Hey, all I need is a contract and we're good to go. We can close in 21 days, or we can, give you rent, some free rent afterwards if your seller needs to stay. So that you might have to write a few offers before you hit the one that's going to, be the one. So again, you might get some buyer fatigue, and that's okay, not the funnest, and you go through this emotional roller coaster sometimes. So again, this is where you kind of have to realize that if you're at a certain price point and you're capable of doing X amount, and there's multiple offers, and we're already hearing the word cash in there, the reality is that you might have to that home might not work for you. That's where you have to take the emotion out, and that's where we just have to roll up our sleeves for the next one and be prepared. So, again, you might get some buyer's fatigue, and that's just part of the process at times. So that's where you just have to take a deep breath, meditate, take care of yourself, and we just keep moving forward. So the only way that I can help you find that sweet spot here on the Central Coast is you've got to reach out. You got to give us a call, text, email, day, evening, weekends. It does not matter, because we've got your back when you're moving to the Central Coast, California. So until the next video, we'll catch you later.